kind of reached a bit of a pinnacle here. We are at a place that they call the best view in Portugal. I think Alipe thinks so. What do you think? Today is a new day. Hi, I'm Ashley the Constant Wanderer and welcome to another vlog in the Mama Travel Solo series. As you can see, I'm all dolled up today because I'm about to do a shoot for a designer called Sophie Hawkins. This is not her stuff, but I'm going to get changed in a minute and go and shoot for her. Really exciting, her stuff is class and I can't wait to share with you guys the results of the shoot and hopefully just share with you some of her amazing designs as well. Anyway, today I want to talk to you guys about wine tasting in Porto. The Duoro Valley is one of the images that kept on coming up when I was researching the place. The vineyards are tended to using ancient methods and people literally hand cut each of these shelves out of the rock and out of the hillside because there is no machinery that exists that could do that job, you know. And even today they tend to do it with donkeys and carts and it's a really manual, handmade process. In fact, port wine can only be grown and brewed and created in the Duoro Valley, in the same way that champagne is only really truly grown and made in Champagne, France. I learned so much, there's so much stuff going on just outside of Porto. It was only an hour's drive. The tour was amazing. I planned to book it before I went out there because we were only there for a short space of time and I didn't want to get too stressed trying to figure out the logistics of the whole place myself. I booked this tour online. It was a Get Your Guide website. I'm a fan. I think if I'm traveling with a babe on my own, it's just a great way to get around and see places without the stress of having to organise it. You know, these guys turned up at my house. All I had to do was pack for the day and, you know, we shoved everything in the back of the car. Alipe is currently asleep in the car and I actually get a chance to wander across this beautiful bridge on my own, you know, and see a bit more of the valley. Wine tasting next, and it's only 11 AM, and then we're going on to taste some olive oil and some honey. I'm no expert on wine, though I love a glass or 10 every so often. I kind of drink anything, so I'm not quite sure I had the most benefit from the wine tasting aspect of it all. Port wine was originally created because wine merchants in Portugal and in Porto were trying to export it overseas, and in order to make it last and stop it from going off, they would fortify it with brandy. So the specific, really strong, potent, beautiful, rich tasting wine came out of this region and was obviously called Porto, the great port that's there. Port. Lunch was included as part of the trip, so it was great to kind of see this small town nestled in the mountainside. So we've just finished eating at a lovely restaurant in Duoro, and we had some wine tasting here earlier as well. Port tasting to be more specific. The food was great. She had some fried mackerel with some boiled potatoes and some veg, and it went down a treat. I had this traditional Portuguese duck and rice dish, and yeah, she had red wine, I didn't. We're on a tour with some very lovely people, and you know they say it takes a village, right? So it's been nice to have a helping hand with bags and with the babe every so often. Say hi to Diana, our tour guide. Hello. Our guide, Diana, was really amazing. Shout out to you, girl, because you taught us a lot and you were very patient and really helpful with Alipe, and you know, you made that tour for me. You actually made it, as well as the scenery was great as well, you know. I kind of love these guys because we're kind of off the beaten track here. You know, a lot of tour companies take you through the rigmarole of the standard tour routes, and you guys know that I'm not a massive fan of that. So it's been quite nice to come to some really remote places and to some smaller wineries and to some more interesting places, let's say. I've appreciated it, and yeah, onto the boat tour. You got to kind of see this place from the ground level, or from water level up. The Duoro Valley and the Duoro River has always been notorious for being quite wild, and the rapids there have claimed many lives over the centuries. But nowadays it's a lot calmer because they've installed 6 dams. You know, the source of the Duoro River is in Spain, so it's a long ass river and it comes all the way out through Porto. It's only an hour-long boat trip. We didn't really need any more time for that. And Alipe slept through it. She slept a lot that day. It was very hot. And that's something that I did have to mitigate and kind of battle against, keeping her cool, keeping her hydrated, and yeah, traveling this way with a baby is super, super easy. Just show up, be prepared with your bags and go. And there's a plethora of different choices to choose from, whether you're into wine or honey or olive oil, or whether you want to see the sights or you want to see the city, food. There's loads of food tours as well. And yeah, I just found it was a really great way to lock in, you know, my Porto experience with some real knowledge and real experience out in the world. Keep your eyes open for the next vlog, which will be about, I haven't decided yet,